Terry Rozier has been balling as of late and is leading the Charlotte Hornets to a potential playoff berth in 2021. Over his last 4 games, he's averaged 36 points a night, and the Hornets have gone 500 in those matches, so there is suddenly a conversation being had about him and if he should get an All-Star nod this season. With the reserves being announced Tuesday, and with me just witnessing his ridiculous clutch finish to the Warriors game, I figured I should quickly make a video on Terry Rozier and see where everyone's thoughts lie on him. So, in today's video, I'm going to be taking a look at Terry Rozier's season so far, how he compares to other top guards in the East, and whether I personally believe he should be an All-Star this season. Before we start, if you're new here and enjoyed the video, be sure to subscribe for more NBA content like this. I'm trying to hit 16,000 subscribers, so all support would be greatly appreciated. Anyway, with that being said, let's talk about Terry Rozier. Terry Rozier has been amazing this season so far, particularly as of late, as I mentioned, and it's why I thoroughly believe he has a legit case to be an Eastern Conference All-Star, or at the very least should be considered one even if he doesn't receive the honors this season. In his last 4 games, he's dropped 36 points, 3 rebounds and 4 assists, 33 points, 7 rebounds and 4 assists, 41 points, 7 rebounds and 3 assists, and finally in the first game of this stretch, he had 34 points, 3 rebounds and 3 assists, and in all of those games, shot incredibly from the field. Across the entire season, he's averaging just over 20 points a night, 4 rebounds and 3 assists, but combine that with his elite efficiency, you can definitely make a case for an All-Star ballot for him. His current shooting splits are 49% from the field, 45% from 3, and 80% from the free throw line, and that elite 3-point efficiency is coming on over 7 attempts per game. It's just ridiculous. In his last 5 games, this has been even better, with him knocking down over 55% of his field goal attempts and over 50% of his 3-point attempts, as well as him not missing a single free throw in each of those games, going 17 for 17 from the line. Overall, Rozier has been on fire, and perhaps if he wasn't in Charlotte, he would be considered as an underdog to steal an All-Star reserve spot. But on Charlotte, that's going to be even harder. With that being said now, let's take a look at some of the other All-Stars battling for a spot out east, and whether Rozier could land a spot potentially over them. Obviously, we won't talk about guys like Jaylen Brown and Zach LaVine and the other top tier reserves because it's obvious Rozier will not get a nod over them. But there's definitely some 50-50 players Terry has a chance at beating out. The first guy is Julius Randle. He's had a phenomenal breakout year this season with the Knicks and is currently leading them to a playoff seed as well in quite a few seasons. Right now, he's averaging 23 points, 11 rebounds, and over 5 assists on 48% shooting from the field, 41% shooting from 3, as well as knocking down 4 of his every 5 attempts at the free throw line. Unfortunately for Rozier, I can't see him getting a spot over Randle due to fan votes. Randle has been getting backed a ton by the Knicks fans and general NBA fans too. His success this season has been amazing to see, so right now, I find it very unlikely Terry could land a spot over him. Another player gunning for a All-Star reserve spot is Monte Sabonis, who has continued his excellence into the 2021 season from last year. He was very dominant in the early stages as the Pacers were crushing teams, but have since fallen back to around a similar level as last season. Sabonis is averaging 21.5 points, 11.6 rebounds, and 5.7 assists on 53, 36, 71 shooting splits, and he's officially the #1 guy in Indiana, in my opinion. Due to him being such an underrated big in the league, I think Rozier may have a chance at getting past him with his height building, but I still think it's unlikely. Sabonis is close to being a lock in my eyes. Fans are starting to widen their eyes to his level of play and the success of Indiana, so again, it is probably unlikely here to see Rozier get a spot over Sabonis. The final guy on the edge of making an All-Star spot is Jimmy Butler, and this is definitely an interesting one for Rozier, because though Butler has been getting a ton of fan votes, Miami have been underperforming heavily, and Butler himself has missed a fair amount of game time on the sidelines. He's been decently statistically, and due to his popularity amongst casual NBA fans, he's probably a high chance of making it over Rozier. But on a purely unbiased level, Rozier would have a good case to have a spot over him, in my opinion. They're both very close statistically. Charlotte is doing much better than Miami in the standings, and of course, Rozier is a huge part of that. So again, whilst it's unlikely Rozier does get this spot over Butler just due to Butler's popularity and the All-Star game being a popularity contest and all, I still think there could be serious discussions about Rozier having an All-Star spot over Butler this season. Now, that does not mean in any sort that Butler is a worse player than Rozier, but due to his limited play this season, I think there can be a good case for Rozier to be named an All-Star over him. Again, it doesn't mean Butler is worse, but in the context of this season, I think Rozier deserves a fair chance. But overall, is Terry Rozier an All-Star this season? Probably not at this stage, but I definitely would like to think that he's an All-Star caliber player. He's been putting up great stats on great efficiency. He's taken his game to a whole nother level this season, and personally, I think that deserves some recognition, but I doubt he will actually get selected when it is announced in a couple of days. He's not the main star on Charlotte, that's Lamelo Ball, so for that reason, again, I find it unlikely that he will get picked, but hopefully this latest stretch of games has woken fans up and they can see how good of a player he is and is starting to become. And that will conclude the video. What do you guys think of this? How good is Terry Rozier to you? Does he deserve to be an All-Star in your opinion, or will he miss out? Let me know all your thoughts down in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to drop it a like and subscribe. But with that being said, I am out. Peace.
Hey, Mobs, that sounds wavy.